In programming, we have a lot of information to use in our programs, and we often call that information as data in computer science, and we should store this data somewhere in our program in order not to lose that data. Okay, so the name of the structure that we store this data is variable, and you can think of a variable as a box. You store the data inside of that box and you give a name to this box, and the name of this variable is called identifier. But we have some restrictions about the identifier. There are some rules about the naming of this variable. So let's look at these rules and give some examples. Here are the identifier rules. An identifier can contain uppercase and lowercase letters starting from A to Z, and we cannot use any Turkish characters. Let's give some examples. Let's say my age. This is a valid variable name. This is a valid identifier, and it can be all uppercase, like that one. This is also valid. And the mixed version, just A being uppercase, is also valid. But my age, but this time there's a Turkish character. This is not a valid identifier name. So in identifier, we can use underscore. So this is valid variable name, a valid identifier. We can use digits like my age 1, or we can use as many digits as we want, like that. Or we can use digits between these words, like that one. This is also valid, but digits cannot be the first character of the identifier. So like 1, my age, is not a valid identifier. So let's give another example. An identifier cannot contain a space, like my age is not a valid identifier. You cannot put a space between these words. And the identifier, the name of the variable, should be meaningful, because when you write more complicated programs, and let's say you name a variable as A, and in the later on you can there's a possibility that you don't remember what this A contains. Okay, so always give meaningful names to the variables, like my age, and after you look my age, you will always remember what you've stored in this variable. Okay, so these are the identifier rules, and in the next video we will talk about how can we give some values in these boxes, in the variables. Okay, so see you in the next video.